is your all of your health? Like I heard everybody has fever, cough.
Yes, Suraj, everyone is having cough.
Hmm. It's there, it's still there, or it's gone?
It's fine for me. Now Amol is affected.
Oh, okay. So it's going in circles.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So what shall we do today? Testing, right? We were doing testing. Should we keep doing that, or shall we move forward?
Mm,
If the concept is clear and you guys have made a note, then we can move. Or because Amol is not there, shall we do something else? Uh, something new?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So what I will do, I will share my screen. So do you guys know how to design a system?
Not generally.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm.
Like if you could have a structured process of the guide us, like will help actually.
See that will come more with experience and everything.
Hmm.
It's not like some structure.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are many concepts that you need to know, many
Hmm.
ideas that needs to be known. Okay. And more importantly, all of this will come with experience,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So you guys are just starting out, learning how to create functions, maybe classes and everything. We have not even started with the design patterns and architectural patterns,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Even above that is designing the entire system,
Okay.
right? So,
Like for the designing a system, like what are the key fundamentals that we need to know?
yeah, see, just like this, right? That cannot be explained in a day.
Okay.
So, see, so we will get to that. See,
Okay.
I want to keep it light today. I
Okay.
just want to
Sure.
introduce this idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will not cover any specific concepts or topics because that will be important for the rest of the team as well.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
Okay. So today I will just introduce this idea, right? So, okay, I will share my screen first.
Yeah.
Are you guys recording?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing that.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, see, one more thing I want you guys to also do is I realized recording is not something, whatever recording we do, right? 99% of the time, nobody goes back and checks,
Yeah. That is a thing.
right?
Yeah.
Then what is the use? See, first of all, the idea over here is to refer back or to ensure that we are learning, right? So why don't we have a conscious process where we take down the notes, right? Are you guys having some notepad or something? So whenever we are discussing, right? If there is some important point that you noted or you realized or you found, right? You have to
Yes.
make a note immediately.
Yeah.
Anyways, we are not going back to that, some notes. We are not going back to the recordings or the script, right? By writing down, we might not go back even to what we have written. But the thing is, when we write down, it will deeply go into our memory, and that will form a deeper impression. And that is how we learn, right? and that is very important. So are you guys making notes as we keep discussing?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
Suraj, we're
yeah,
making
absolutely.
notes.
Okay, good. Akash, you can also start making notes. So whenever some key idea or something,
Mm-hmm.
right, you
Yeah,
can just note it down.
sure.
Maybe short form or something like that. This is what I do,
Yeah,
right? And it helps a lot in solidifying that idea. So I will share my screen.
yeah, yeah, sir. Yeah.
Let's say you have a system, right? Let's assume we have to design Twitter. Okay. How will you go about it?
And functional and non-functional requirements, right?
Okay. So let's keep it simple, right? When I say designing Twitter, what is this platform first of all? What is this platform?
Sharing the
We are
tool.
just sharing some posts,
Yeah, yeah,
correct?
yeah.
So platform for sharing posts, right? So this is one main key point that you have to note. Okay. Now, do you guys know how to design this? You have already done a lot of coding. Uh, so is this easy? How do you do this? How do you? So when I say sharing posts,
Mm.
what is the process that happens? Can you break it down for me?
First user creates the account, then
No, don't think about all of those things.
mm,
I'm just sharing. I'm just saying I want to share a post. That's it.
mm,
Just think about only that. Main core service.
Click on the share button. There must be a button
Ah,
inside the application. If we click on that, it should redirect to the video or the like image which the device is containing. It should redirect to it. Later, selection is one more function we need to select,
select what?
and select image or video. Multiple selection or single selection it should allow for selecting purpose.
Okay.
Later, it should the one more functionality is like writing the comment or
Correct.
and later post is the one more functionality.
So you guys need to define this thought process, right? So what are the
Yes.
steps that are happening over here? Very simple, right? One person is writing some concept or idea. For now, let us not take images, videos, nothing else. Only one simple. Let us say it is just text. So what is one person doing? On one end, maybe like a laptop or a mobile phone, wherever. Let us say it is a website, right? So he's just writing some message and he's clicking some send button, correct? So when he does the send button, it is get it is getting added to the main server, and it is getting added to that channel, or uh, it is getting reflected in the main page, correct? And also in his profile page. So this is all there is to Twitter, correct?
Yes.
Hello.
correct, correct,
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So the core functionality over here is writing the message and sending it. Second one is reading these messages? Who are the users? Who are the other users? Right? So how does that reading happen? How does the reading happen?
Like following the subscriber, I guess. Some people I am following. So
Okay.
similarly, I can get the whatever he is posting. I am able to get it.
Okay. All right.
Pops up
So
model,
here
I
also
guess.
let us keep it like very simple, right? So we are designing something from the basic.
Hmm.
So let us say like there are only 3 or 4 people, okay,
Hmm.
on the platform, and we are just starting to design it. So how will we design it? Any post that I create, all of you will be able to see.
Hmm. Hmm.
Correct?
Yeah, yeah.
And how will it be ordered?
Reading, reading the
Hmm?
message.
How will it be ordered? Let us say for simplicity, ordered by time.
Yeah.
I will say reverse chronological. Okay. You know what chronological is? Chronological basically means in terms of time, right? So I was born, then I went to school, then I went to college, then I started working, then I got married, then I got kids, then I became old, I got grandparents, I became a grandparent, right? So there is a time aspect there, right? So that is
Hmm.
what chronological is based on time.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So now this is all Twitter platform is. On top of this, there are many scenarios that will and complexities that have been added. For example, reading what they have done, instead of ordering by time, they have a recommendation system. Okay. Now instead of now this sending messages, now I send the message. Well, if maybe somebody has subscribed to my profile, they will get notification, right?
Hmm.
So there are
Hmm.
many features like this, and it is built for the global scale, correct? So only the complexity is increasing. Okay. Now let's say let us keep it simple. Okay. Now for this itself, what do you need for this entire system? Let's say this is all my system needs to do. Okay. So
Hmm.
what all components do you need for building the system? How will the flow be? Can you tell me the database schema or API design?
Uh, like just I will give the overview. Let's suppose uh, someone is coming to our platform. So first is he is able to give the title of the tweet and the description of the tweet.
Will the tweet have a title?
No, I'm just tagline like what should this post is all about.
Sorry?
A tagline about the like what this post is all about and the description.
So where will this be? What do you say, Varshita? How will you
Means
design this system? What are all the components that are involved in the system? What is required to build this system? Akash,
like in terms of front end or back end, like components
entire
means.
system,
Okay.
entire system.
So there should be a input box where they can post the tweet,
Okay,
and there should be another post API where it will send this message to the server.
okay. So over here you have a post API
Mhm.
to send message to server. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a server component here, correct?
Mhm. Yeah.
So that is one component. You have a server. Okay.
Okay.
Then
And there should be a get
you have the
API.
end user, right?
Yeah,
You have the
yeah.
end
User.
user
Yes.
mobile or something.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It can be mobile, web, whatever,
Mobile web.
etc. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do you need? If you just have a server, is it enough? So you send a message. After that, what happens?
We should have another get request, get all. So whatever the tweets that has been happened, we'll get all the tweets
From where will it get? So
from the
I
server
send the
itself.
message to the server. What happens in the server? Okay. What happens in the server? Yeah.
Like in the server part, uh, there will be a API constructions, right? Like how the data will be, the schema we can have it, schema design.
Okay. So tell me on the overview what is happening, right? So I am sending this message to the server, and then what is happening?
It is saving into the server. That message will be going to save.
So will the server save these messages? All these messages that is getting sent? Varshita, what do you say?
Yeah, it will be saved in the form of packets, I guess.
Packets.
Hmm.
ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೋ ಮೆಸೇಜಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಏನೋ ಟ್ವೀಟ್ಸ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರ ಮೆಸೇಜಸ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರ ವೇರ್ ಡು ಯು
Okay.
ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಇಟ್ ಆರ್ ಯು ಸ್ಟೋರಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್
Mm, no, I guess it is.
ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಸೇ ಆಕಾಶ್
Mm, we are not storing, but it is encrypted form actually, which I
ಹಾ
see. It is encrypted actually. End-to-end encryption will be there, right?
ಓಕೆ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫೈನ್ ಫೈನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಯು ಡು ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸೇ ಮೈ ಫೋನ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್
Mm-hmm.
okay and then I will open you might have posted some message at 10 o'clock in the morning but I open Twitter at 10 p.m. in the evening or 10 p.m. at night.
Mm-hmm.
But I still need to get those tweets, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Where will I get that all this data from?
From the server itself.
From the server.
Yeah, we are getting the data from the server itself, right?
What is the server?
Server is
What is the
mainly
server?
the backend logic will be having, right? Like,
Yeah, break down what server means, right? What does server mean? server means remote CPU. Okay,
Okay.
that's it. Got the idea?
Hmm.
Server basically means remote CPU. Okay,
Okay.
so that means this is where your processing is happening. So when we say front end, back end, client side, server side, right? When we say server side, we are basically talking about where the processing is happening, whether it is happening on the client side or client side on his end user on the mobile device or in the server device.
Okay.
Okay. So this is basically your remote CPU. Just like you have CPU and you have your CPU in your laptop and everything, right? So just like that, this is also one system. Okay. Now what? Now then, where is this data stored? Is it stored in the server? Where is the data stored?
Data stored in database, right?
Huh?
Data will be storing in the database.
Yeah, correct. That's all I wanted to know. So what is database? What is a database?
Uh, Database is the storage format like where we wanted to, like, our core business logic has to be, have a structure has to be there.
Huh?
In simple words, like we wanted to store the data.
Okay.
It's just nothing but a database actually.
Yeah, I can store the data even in a CSV file. Or I can store it in JSON file also. Is that a database? Varshita?
Yes, it is also a form of data, but
Is it a database?
no. JSON is not a database.
Why? Then what is the difference? So, I'll add over here. CSV, JSON, XML, etc. or flat files. Okay. Database is a live server handling the data. When I say handling the data, it means doing CRUD. Okay. Do you guys know what CRUD means?
Yeah.
What is CRUD?
Create, read, update, and delete.
Correct. Create, read, update, and delete. Oh, I think the caps lock are yeah. So simple, Varshita, is this simple? What does this mean? Create, read, update, and delete?
These are the basic functionalities which we can do inside the database.
Correct. So ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು SQL ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ
Ah,
SQL?
no, I have used JSON.
SQL ಅಂದ್ರೆ SQL,
I
Structured
know.
Query Language.
Yes.
ಹಾ, SQL ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
Queries I have used in college.
Yeah. So what are they? So they are basically your create create ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೋದು, read ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೋದು, update ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ delete ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. These are the
Yes.
only four things that you can do.
Yes.
So that is what we call as CRUD operations. And this you execute it using SQL. Using SQL. Okay. So what is a database? Database is a server
That handles data.
uh, hmm, that. So think of it as an application again. Okay. Server application that manages the data in real time. Okay. So the only difference over here is all of this management is happening live. Okay, so it is always storing this data in uh, high access memory. Okay, so in databases, what is the requirement? If I'm taking a server for a database, what is the requirement then? I need to access the data very fast, right?
Hmm.
Then what is the requirement for such a system?
Or like it varies, like whether we want SQL or whether we want to store NoSQL, like kind of a.
Yeah, think in terms of the machine. What is the requirements for the machine? What is the difference between this server and this server, database server? What do you guys think? See, this is also a server, right? This is also a server. This is also a server.
Hmm.
But what is the difference?
It's like a virtual computer, I guess. Like in the server, remote CPU will be there, so it's a virtual machine, right?
Correct. It is a virtual machine. Correct. But what is the difference? See, both of these are machines. But I am asking in terms of the machine configuration. What should be the difference? What is the core requirement for this system versus this system? Over here, processing is heavy, right?
Hmm.
So a lot of processing is happening,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Here, IOPS is heavy,
IO operations.
right? Input output operations is heavy. That means reading from the ROM.
Okay. Hmm.
What is ROM?
Read only memory.
Yeah. So what is that? In your regular CPU togondre, what is that? It is your hard disk, right?
Hard disk or SSD.
So that is why,
Hard disk or SSD. Mainly the servers will use the SSD.
correct. Hard disk is SSD itself, right? So you have HDD and SDD, right?
Hmm.
Nowadays you are using solid state disks, so that is SSD, right?
SSD. Yeah.
So this is high throughput you need. So I'm just giving some basics over here. High throughput SSD is required. Okay. So let us say now millions of let's say 1 billion users are there.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
1 billion users are there, and every second we are getting maybe some 200 million uh, get requests.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. So that means I have to constantly read from the server
Yeah.
200 million requests
Yes.
per second, right? Do you
Hmm.
know how many requests can be processed by a server in what is the throughput of a server? How many requests can be processed in 1 second by a server? this is a homework for you. Find out what is the throughput of a database server
Okay.
in a typical scenario. Okay. Throughput means how many queries it can handle.
Okay.
So coming back, see, we will keep the API design this much only. Okay. So did you guys get the idea what is happening over here? Whenever the user sends a query, that query will be sent to the server to process, right? To fetch
Hmm.
some kind of data, right? In the
Okay.
backend. Now that data will be fetched from the database. So the database will send it back to the server, and then it will be sent to the user,
Hmm. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now you will ask me, why should we need this server? Anyways, data is directly fetched. This is acting as a middleman. Can't we eliminate it?
No, like how we are writing the APIs in our own local system. So first
Hmm.
we should have server first. Like we should have the
Hmm.
computer first.
Yeah. Why? I can directly query. End user can query directly from the database, right? Can you not do that?
We can still do that, but the real time data can't be stored, right? Like let's suppose some user is creating some tweet. That request
Okay.
might not go to that system. Communication will not happen.
Why not? I can add, see, I can send a SQL request,
Hmm.
SQL query here and directly update this database server. What is the need for this server? I don't need this server.
Like if the
Why do you need?
system is not that, how the database will be getting configured?
Huh?
Let's suppose there is no server or no CPU or no computer is there, no VM is there. So how the database uh, query can be happened?
See, this is also a VM. This is also a server. I can send the query directly from my mobile also, and it will get updated. I can do that, right? Possible or not?
Mobile and web only makes the request, right?
I'm asking,
Hmm.
can I send a SQL query from my mobile or not? Directly to the database. Possible or not?
No, no, directly is not possible.
Varshita, what are
Like
your thoughts?
in which sense you're asking? Like
Can I directly send the SQL query from my device to this database server? This
yes,
database server also has IP address. It has, all the query and everything.
yes, we can
Isn't
send,
it?
but
Hmm?
we can send, but it is a wrong way, right?
Yeah, why is it wrong?
Like how a common people will be knowing the query and all.
I will put it in my front end code only. I will write the query. Whenever I say fetch profile, I will mention, I will put a SQL query with the database server URL and all that. I will establish a database connection and I will fetch the profile details.
But it will not be user friendly, right?
Why not?
Mm.
I will the process the data in the front end only, whichever way I want, and I will display it in just like how we are showing with React and everything. I will have a model.
Purpose
I will
may be
process it.
different actually. There is two way of doing that. In memory is also storing the data is also there. In the device only the
No, we are not
data.
talking about in memory, all those things. Simple question over here. Why don't we do this in the front end? Answer is simple. See, the thing is, you can write a SQL query even in your front end. But the problem what happens is security. Okay. If I am able to send a SQL query directly to our servers, okay, then anybody in the world can access, isn't it? If I am able to see, like for example, I am on this platform Whimsical, right? Now I can go inspect and I can look at the code. Whatever is the front end code, everything I will be able to see, right? I will be able to see all the code that is there. Whenever I say front end server, it means that it is running on the device. When it is running on the device, I can see all the code, React, whatever code, everything that you have written, everything can be fetched. Okay. So you see this, so whatever data, see they have a database also, right?
Okay.
In the front end. So all of this is in their front end. All this is running. See, they have a cache storage. So what does it say? Whimsical.com, pre-cache, right? So there are many things happening even in the front end. You see all these cylinders are databases. See, they have a database even in the front end. See, item sync info. They're storing a lot of things, right? So everything is, whatever is there in the front end is accessible to everybody in the world, right? To the public. And the reason why we don't directly query from here to this database is for the purpose of security. Okay. Why I am saying this is when you are designing a data system, security is also a very huge factor. Okay. I want to just highlight this. Okay. Now the over here the system design is actually very simple. Over here I will just write these down. Okay. So I have a mobile device. Okay. I'll say this is like my mobile. I have then what do we have? We have a server. Correct? What else do we
Hello.
have? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Am I audible, guys?
Yeah, yeah, you are audible.
Yeah. So this is how the system basically is. Over here, communication will be from both ends. Okay. So this is what your system is. Over here, so this is your public server, or this is the publicly accessible server, and this is the private. Uh, okay. Private. Uh, so private network, I will say. Okay. So this is public network. So this is all that is there. ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಇರೋದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, but when you are scaling there will be a lot of complexities and we will look at all of these things, all of these scenarios in the future sessions. ಅಷ್ಟೇ. So I just wanted to give some primer and a brief idea. Was this interesting?
Yes, it was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, we took some 10 minutes extra, I guess. I guess that's okay. All right. So we will do this in very detail and in depth as we